What's going on, guys? I'm back for another video. This is just gonna be one of those like, oh, I bought this stuff recently and I'm gonna talk about it in a video kind of things. The same thing that I've been doing recently. Um, so for context, and if I remember to, if you follow me on Twitter, if I remember to, I'll throw that below. Um, all of these figures came in one giant box from Big Bad Toy Store, which, to be fair, was very convenient because we are moving kind of gradually over the rest of this month because I'm going to try and remember to post this on April 1st. And then, like, officially, in like the mid end, like the third week, I believe, of May, we're going to be moving away from here in Pittsburgh, sadly, to more towards my hometown, DC, just because it's better for the fiance's work and everything. And after she graduates from graduate school, but it is what it is. But yeah, so I mean, having that huge Big Bad Toy Store box was kind of convenient. But all seven of these figures, well, I'm going to show you guys six for a reason I'll get into here in a minute. Were in that box, and yeah, and it was funny because I was getting because I guess the Catholic heritage, Lent is a huge thing in Pittsburgh, and everybody and their mother does a fish fry. Like all the churches, all like the community centers, all that do fish fries during Lent. And I went to the first one, like the tail end of February, at the Elks Lodge. That's like across the park from here. It's probably like a mile, I would say. But literally, as I'm in line on that Friday evening, I'm just getting email after email from Big Bad Toy Store, like, "Hey, this pre-order item is going to go to your pile of loot," and hence, all seven got sent to me eventually. So I said we were going to only talk about six today. Well, show six. I'll talk about I'll talk about all seven. Literally, that's only just because the seventh, which is the Legacy Evolution Scout class or whatever the hell they're calling it, Sound Blaster. He is literally boxed up in, I think actually in one of the boxes down here, because there's two right here. He might be in one of the ones in the other room, for said move that I mentioned earlier in the video. So yeah, and honestly, like, if you have the Legacy Legends War again, whatever the hell they're calling it, Soundwave, you know what to expect with Sound Blaster. So if you like that mold, you're gonna like Sound Blaster. Like, that's my opinion on that mold. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into it. We're gonna start off with, I guess, technically the biggest boy, BOI, first. Just because I have them combined, and this is how I'm gonna display him. So Breakdown came in that box. And yeah, he's a remold of Wild Rider. It's fine. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not as hurt about it as a lot of people are, because a lot of people had a lot of emotions about it. But yeah, it's fine. I legitimately wish with Menasor here that they had done something else about these panels. Like, there was a way for them to like fold in and in on themselves or whatever, because they're hollow enough on the underside here, and you're not going to see that fucking detailing unless it's like the weapons platform mode. And considering, I don't know, considering how you get the posing and everything, Water Rider and Breakdown don't like sit flush against these panels half the time. So I don't know. It's just a thing. It's a weird design choice that I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I feel like they could have done something different with these. But Breakdown himself, he's good. He's fine. He doesn't wow me. Honestly, I think my ranking of the actual Stunticons goes Dragstrip, Motormaster, Dead End, Wild Rider, Breakdown, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't know which, if any, upgrade kits I'm going to get for Menasor here, but this is actually really satisfying. Combination's a little bit of it's not like fiddly to figure out at first, but it's just like, it's just interesting to do if you waited until getting all of them to do them. And I do kind of wish, I know it's not canonically accurate, that Wild Rider and Breakdown were on the front, not on the back, because you don't see them. Like, if Menosaur's on your shelf like this, you don't see them. And we're spending $20 on each of these figures, so maybe it's just me, but I want to see $20, $20, and then whatever the hell Motormaster went for, which I think was way too much money if you ask me. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like there needs to be I think that's what I want from an upgrade kit for this guy, is a much better sword, because this is just a goddamn butter knife. And then, like, like a reworking of the legs that still works with them being part of Motormaster's trailer. So maybe just an entirely new trailer, where, even if it's not canonically accurate, you can have Wild Rider and Breakdown on the front of the combined mode. That said, this is how I'm going to display him. He is literally going to be on whichever shelf of whichever bookcase once we move. So, yeah. I just hope that with Legacy Evolution and subsequent lines we get other combiners, because I don't think we've had any other ones teased to date, at least of when this video is coming out, which is kind of weird. And this is probably one of the better ones Hasbro's done in recent years, if I'm being honest. But yeah. Alright, so sticking with deluxes, and we're already like 5 minutes in or 6 minutes in, so I'm going to have to speed this up a little bit. They're all relatively small, but we'll just go with this. Also because I can just set him like this. Shrapnel, or whatever. I always forget the Insecticon names. Somebody's gonna let me know if I'm wrong, I'm sure. Very cool. Really like him. Transformation's simple and fun and all that. You can literally just leave these things on his the underside of his forearms for the bug mode. Not as good as Kickback, if I'm being honest. Kickback just had more of that je ne sais quoi, but like still very good. If you're on the hunt for deluxe Decepticons, and don't have that weird, was it Rampage or whatever was the repaint of Kickback, and that was in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Worlds Collide multi-pack or whatever. Ooh, multi-pack. Anyway, Shrapnel's good. I really like him. Very nicely done figure. And overall, just really solid, but doesn't quite have that, like, ooh, this is fun figure or factor for me. Definitely happy that I got him. Excited for Bombshell whenever the hell he comes out. But, like, and I do think the trio will be my classics styled, like that display series of Insecticons, finally. But yeah, if Kickback was, like, A tier, low A tier, this is, like, solid B tier. Good, just doesn't wow me in that same way. I'll put him back here. So we're going to stick with deluxes. We'll just go with him next. Legacy Animated Prowl, or Legacy Evolution Animated Prowl. Honestly, I really like this. This is a very nice homage to Prowl. Still retains a lot of the animated stylings. All that again. We can get the camera to focus. There we go. Yeah, I don't know, it's really cool. I like him a lot, and honestly kind of a bit more than I expected, given everything. But, you know, there's a certain, like, cool to this version of Prowl here. It also helps that I'm a big fan of animated. Came out, that was 2009, 2011 was the era of animated. So, you know, that was when I was in college. That was because Lockdown came out going to my freshman year of college. At least, like, the toy leaked and everything. So, yeah, like, animated was out when I was in college. So I would, like, find sites to watch it on and everything weekly. And it was really fun to watch and keep tabs on. So, I know, I just have a soft spot for the show. And I liked most of the characters in it. I do have some quibbles with Animated Legacy Prowl here. Sidebar, because I was on the train of thought there. I do kind of want to see what Hasbro does with, like, let's say, if we get a Legacy Animated Lockdown, if we get a Legacy Animated Jetfire and Jetstorm, and they combine into Safeguard, because that was a cool concept. Stuff like that. I just want to see if they're going to delve more into animated, but we'll see, I guess. A lot of nitpicks. I do wish the light bar pieces for the back of the motorcycle, they flipped out like they did on the original animated figure. These do pop out. Just look at a review. I'm not going to waste your guys' time more than I have. And honestly, as I posted on my Twitter, like, in this mode, he kind of looks like, I know, like a young adult, like a teenager or like somebody in their early 20s cosplaying as Transformers Animated Prowl, if I'm being honest. He has like a slightly almost like kidified aesthetic, I guess. I don't know. He just looks like somebody cosplaying as Animated Prowl, and it doesn't quite hit the mark, but it does, and it's a wonderful homage to that character and to the late Derek J. Wyatt. And we are 10 minutes. Thank you to anyone who watches this full video, by the way. I don't know why you would do that. Anyway. Scraphook, the other one whose name I always forget. Honestly, I'm going to get at some point the motorcycle one that just came out, the Motorcycle Junkion. But like, this is what they should have done with the like the weaponizers or whatever the hell they're called now. From the beginning, just have them be the Junkions. The feet are a little bit too like, I want these panels to have folded up, if I'm being honest, for the robot mode. So the feet are a little bit too much of like big platforms. And he does pull apart a little too easily because of that weaponizer gimmick for transformation going into this mode, going into vehicle mode and everything. But he's really damn cool. He honestly might be my favorite deluxe in this haul. I'm also really happy with myself for doing the great paint job that I did on his face. If you get him and you're able to, I guess, get like a paint pen, Gundam marker, whatever, or get somebody to do so, and literally just like paint the mustache around the head and do the same thing with the eye patch, because he really needs it. That's just an oversight by Hasbro. I don't know why they didn't do that with the deluxe budget. They really could have, if you ask me. Yeah, Scraphook is really good. I like him a lot. The only Voyager in this all, Tarn. So I don't have the MMC Tarn. I have their like Lady Eris Coulter one down here. I'm just not gonna grab her because she's behind a few things. Kind of fiddly to grab. But I did get the like Shattered Glass Tarn repaint that they did for TFCon the first time it was in DC. I think that was like 15 or 16. I'm probably wrong on that, but whatever year of like the two times recently that I was in DC, or like the DC area, that was when I got like the TFCon Mastermind Creations exclusive of like the Shattered Glass version of their Tarn. If you don't buy third party, even though you should get that third party, even if you don't read the comics, like, this is a good Tarn, although I completely agree with pretty much everything that Perspective End said in his video about Tarn here. I mean, the shoulders are not the best. They could have just reworked them. That's a weird design choice. The transformation's fine. Kind of wish the mask came off. But the thing that kills me, and you can see it from the top here, like, dude is just flat. There's no dimension to Legacy Evolution Tarn. And, like, that's fine. It doesn't really fully bother me because there is a certain, like, chonk to the tank mode. But still, I don't know. It's the flatness here just kind of bothers me. Still a very solid figure, though. Very fun to mess around with. And then lastly, and thanks again for watching almost 15 minutes of this, or 14, whatever. Legacy Evolution Leader Class Skyquake. He did come with a gun. It was in the box. Him, Tarn, and Shrapnel I took to visit family this last week because, like I said, we're moving. And I just think the gun must have, like, dropped somewhere in the other room and it got, like, tossed aside or something when I was putting him in one of the bags. I don't know what happened. Whatever. So he does have the gun. I'm just not showing it off in case the two of you that are gonna watch this would comment. But yeah, no. Skyquake is fun, and I like him a lot. He's definitely better than the original one from Prime, freaking Rubberhead and all that stuff. Would be interested to see a Dreadwing repaint. The hollowness in there does kind of bug me. The panel that these are on definitely needed to tab in somewhere because it doesn't, and you can't really use the bicep swivel because of that. Let me reposition the shoulder pad. Honestly, though, the only other nitpick that I have is other than the transformation or the hollowness of it, and then just kind of like the weird cluster that is in his torso. Even though there is like good chunk to it, I just feel like they could have done more to compress this down. Is the light piping. I generally, honestly, can't be bothered by light piping. Like, oh, cool, it has it, whatever, right? Or, oh, it doesn't have it. That's pretty neat. But, like, because I guess of the dark, like, amberish yellow color, it's the same color that's back here, from what you guys can tell. On the eyes, you literally have to hold them up, like, directly into the light, to have any light come through his eyes. So it's just pointless. They literally should have just given us painted eyes. I'm honestly just waiting for, I think DNA Designs is already doing a better gun for him, but somebody I'm sure is going to do a different head that's going to have like chromed eyes or painted eyes or something. Because look, it's a good characterful head sculpt for a character that had like a smaller role in Prime, right? But like, it was very kind of like one note in terms of like lines, line delivery, character, whatever, him and Dreadwing, but the eyes are just so dead and lifeless. But, anyway, that is what's going on here. New stuff, yada, yada, yada. Skyquake also does have weird balance issues just because his feet literally flip out and he has the thrusters as heel spurs, which is not exactly a good design choice, Hasbro. Unless I'm missing something. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble for about 16 minutes. I'll see you guys around.